Hi everybody. I know it's been a bit since I've actually shot a video, of me actually talking on camera and stuff. I realize that I've got a new computer, and that's the reason why I've got the headset on, is because I don't have the little microphone thingy anymore. Um, so I do have something of a mild rant and like a bunch of other things that I want to say today. You know, that's why I'm shooting this video. There's been a rash of shootings lately that I have an issue with. I know I've said stuff about gun control previously, or I think I have. I don't remember off the top of my head. That and I'm mildly sleepy, so you'll have to, bear with me. I'm going to try to not yawn a whole bunch. But what it is, um, you know, it does go into, like some of these people, have mental health issues or whatever. Part of me wants to know why, some of these people haven't been stopped, or, what's going to be done about getting people that have mental health issues the help. I mean, it's really bad when a person like the guy down in Orlando can make, those mean spirited comments, and then haul off and shoot up a place and then get shot himself. Um, you know, just for the record, I am not anti-Islamic. I'm not. Uh, I saw something on the internet recently where it's like saying like ISIS to Islam is like the KKK to Christianity. Neither represent what the religion means, and it's true. I forget who said it, but I mean it's true. I mean I don't agree with the KKK, and I don't agree with ISIS or ISIL or whatever they want to be called. I actually know used to know some Muslim folks, and they were lovely individuals. I mean, it's like they no more, I don't think, wanted to blow up themselves than I would want to go, racist things at, people that aren't the same race as me. I mean, I'm like, really? Like have recently started beauty school, and I go to school with people of different races than myself, and I don't say anything to them. I actually hugged one of them recently, and I mean, have learned to keep an open mind. I've seen enough of the world and people in it to realize there are different people than myself, and I don't pass judgment on them. I mean, like whatever, like you go bang your bongo and do whatever you want, just as long as it doesn't, hurt me or hurt you or hurt somebody else. What you do is your prerogative. I mean, if you, want to be, you know, a homosexual, that's your business. That's none of my business. I don't care what you do. Just as long, like I said, as long as it doesn't hurt me or hurt you, or somebody else, that's fine. What you do behind closed doors is none of my business until you make it my business. But that's how I feel about it. I mean, I do wish that some of these people, if it's something where, like I said, if a mental health provider, knows that, like, say, that he or she has a patient named, for example, like Billy Bob, and Billy Bob has made a comment of, like, yeah, I, hate Muslims, and I'm going to go out and shoot them, say, just hypothetically speaking. I don't hate Muslims. I think they're wonderful people. They're good people for the most part. But just say, for example, just hypothetically speaking, say, Dr. Jones has a patient named Billy Bob, and Billy Bob makes a comment about, I'm going to get a gun, and I'm going to go shoot up some Muslims, or whatever, for example, and then gets a gun and goes and does it. You know, I mean, and if Billy Bob says it, like, even once to Dr. Jones should, alert somebody and say, hey, I think this person has the potential, you know, for hurting somebody, if not themselves, others. I mean, it's like you should not take that stuff lightly. I mean, granted, that's breaking parents, uh, listen to me, is doctor patient privilege, but, my opinion is sometimes you have to do what you have to do. And if it means breaking somebody's trust to protect them from themselves or protect others from them, then, that's what it is. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's like, for example, and this really happened. My mom and I had a long conversation about my maternal grandmother, my mom's mom. This was back, I'd say, 5, maybe 6 years ago, but I was married to my husband at the time, and we were living here. Well, Grandma was driving at that point. She had had 3 car accidents in the same spot, and the insurance had raised Grandma's rates to like an unbelievably high amount, where Grandma really couldn't pay it, plus do all her other bills and what have you, and keep up the car and stuff. Well, my mother-in-law lived down the street from my grandmother, and my uncle lived next door to my grandma. Well, I said to my mom, Mom, to be honest with you, not to be mean, I know Grandma loves her freedom, but dot dot dot. I'm like, Mom, Grandma, for her own protection, needs to give up her driver's license, because what if my husband, say, goes one day to pick up his mom and take her somewhere, because she's sick, and Grandma hits and kills both of them? That's going to put me in an uncomfortable situation that I don't want to be in. Mom calls me and says, "Oh, my mother killed your husband and his mom." I'm like, or, Grandma ran my mother-in-law off the road. I mean, that's a guaranteed fight right between my husband and myself. And I told Mom, I said, Mom, please don't put me in a situation that I don't want to have to be in if I can help it. I mean, I said, I'm sorry, I love Grandma, I love my husband, but really, I'm like, for Grandma's own protection, Grandma needs to give it up. This happened, I'd say, probably in 2001, 2002. There was this older lady. I forget her name, but what happened is up here on 27, there's a speedway just south of, and Cold Spring up here. Well, what happened is, this was a total fluke thing. This older lady was driving her car south from Cold Spring to Alexandria, which is the next town over. Well, she accidentally was involved in a car accident where a little girl ran out on the middle of 27, was hit by a car in front of this lady's car, and then the little girl ended up getting hit and dragged by this older lady's car. Well, the little girl had ran out in the middle of the street before her mom could catch her. This happened up there by the speedway up there at the south end of town. Well, and the little girl had been told by her mom not to do this. Okay, kid did it anyway. Kid didn't listen. It is what it is. The child's dead now. Well, what ended up happening is the girl obviously died. I'd say probably like within, I'd say 6 months of this incident happening, the older lady passed away from just the whole situation, because she was so distraught over this happening that she died of basically a broken heart. I told my mom, I said, reminded my mom of the story, and I said, I love my grandmother enough to where I don't want her to be that old lady in the story. And I said, Mom, just for no other reason than that, I said, please take her license away from her. I said, to protect her from herself. I said, Grandma, I could almost see that being my grandmother. I said, I'm sorry, but, no, I don't want that to happen to her. I said, it would probably half kill my grandmother to have something like that happen. And my mom thought about it and said, you're right. And, well, unfortunately, Grandma did end up losing her license. But, it was for that and the price that the insurance went up. Grandma was mad. Grandma still thinks she should drive, and she shouldn't. I mean, because it's gotten to the point where I'm not being mean, I'm being truthful here. Grandma just, it's just not there anymore for her to be driving. But that aside, I mean, but I'm just using grandma as an example. If it's something where it's just that obvious that this person, with like has made a threat to where like they might go off and hurt somebody, you know, and it not like it could be intentional, unintentional. Like they could have just snapped and hauled off and just got a gun and just shot up a place. If like a medical professional thinks that something like this could happen with, so and so, I think they need to speak up and not be like, oh, well, they just were saying it just because they were frustrated about whatever situation. No, if they say something like that, take it seriously and go to somebody and say, I think this person could possibly harm themselves, and or others. Granted, there's times when I've said, I wish I was dead or whatever, but I don't entirely mean it. I'm like either sick or I'm like really like just not feeling good. Granted, yeah, there might be times when somebody doesn't feel good and they're just saying that because they're frustrated or not feeling good or both, or there's something else going on there. But really, granted, they do have to put it in context of like, okay, was the person sick or is there something else going on? But if it's something where like the person's like, there's nothing other than they're just mad about whatever and that they're having problems coping with it, yes, they need to be made to help cope with it, but they need to be put in an environment where they can't possibly harm themselves and or others. And somehow, we need to figure out how we can prevent people that could possibly, that fall into that category of possibly doing something to hurt themselves from doing it, getting a gun and doing it. That's what we need to figure out, is how we can prevent that. And even if it's, at the front end where it was like they can't buy it or whatever, we need to fix it where they can't go break into somebody's house and steal the gun and do it, the guns and ammunition to do it, or like a family member's house where they can just go in and get the key off the top of the fridge and go do it. Because here locally, back in, I think, I'd have to say in like October of last year, this 3-year-old boy down here in Alexandria climbed up, got onto the top of the fridge, got the key for the gun safe out, got down, got into the gun safe, and got a gun out, a loaded gun out. Why the gun was loaded in the gun safe is beyond me. But the kid got a loaded gun out and shot his 2-year-old sister, killed the girl. Or hurt the girl. It was like shot the girl, and I can't remember offhand if she died. I think she did. Like maybe 60% sure the child died, or at least was seriously hurt. But I'm like, and then the kid went back up, put the key away in above the refrigerator, put the gun back, and just, it is what it is. And the police arrested the babysitter or whoever was there with the kid at the time, once they got the other child out. But I'm like, oh my God, seriously? You put it on the fridge and you didn't tell this, impress upon this child, don't do this, or like gun safety. 3-year-olds are old enough to where they can kind of understand if you tell them, you shouldn't mess with this because, that'll hurt you. Granted, they don't completely understand that, but like if you keep telling them, that'll hurt you, no, they'll hopefully figure it out. But, sometimes kids just don't listen, and it is what it is. But, it is, something that does need to be looked at. In case you're wondering, yes, I have fingernail polish on my hands. Like I should mention this. I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier in this video or not. I have started cosmetology school last month, back in May. And yes, I have nail polish on. I've also been giving out free manicures to people in my family and stuff. I'm allowed to do that. I'm going to actually be allowed cut real hair in 3 weeks. So, like, today is June 25th. That would be like towards the end of July. It'd be right around July 25th. It'd be about a month from today. So, you know, anybody wants their hair cut, let me know. But anyway, I'm sorry. I just had to rant about that. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening. Bye.